I don't want to be a freak, I don't. It's like the opposite of like,
why?
Yeah, it's the opposite of Tinashe. It's the counterpart, the yin and yang.
She wasn't a nasty girl.
Like,
we'd lose.
He does not want to match her freak. He's like, I actually quite don't want to be a
adamantly
freak.
Do not want to match that freak.
No, please, I don't want to be a freak.
Please, God,
no, make me. Anyone else, please.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Fregly, but it's
his full name Fregly.
Freggy.
Okay, so basically, my parents have his aunt, and and so our good like family friends. She is like, she just loves animals, and so she has a ton of horses and like a big ranch in Ojai, and she breeds dogs. Well, specifically Staffords. Not to sell, but just like for her own showing. So she likes to like do the shows that are like the beauty pageant shows and like the agility classes and stuff. Nice. And so she like very rarely has a litter, but then she just, can't show all of them. So every once in a while she has like an extra one that she gives to a family or friend, and that's how he ended up. And like, yeah. And then my parents used to have like, growing up, I had his like great aunt, whatever that is.
This family tree is like very close.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a dog's great aunt.
Yeah, it's like his aunt Birdie, Birdie's aunt. I don't know what that is.
Well, yeah. Great aunt. That's beautiful. Keep
so
the family
sweet.
Close.
Yeah, they love each other so much.
Oh, Freggy. Hi, this is Ones to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and today I'm joined by Pebbles&TamTam. How you guys doing? Hey. Sorry, that was such a YouTuber intro, but I have
you
to
gotta do it.
How are y'all today?
Go ahead and smash that like button, guys.
Like
that,
and subscribe.
We're
almost at 100,000 subs, guys. Keep liking and subscribing, bro. Cut on the notification bell, bro. Don't I miss any posts, bro.
This is very topical with your iPod Nanos that are clipped in your hair.
I love those. Wait,
I had to do something.
Did you have to attach a clip? It just clips.
Well, I was trying to. There is a clip. I was trying to, and I was like, because I saw this like picture of this girl on Pinterest that like did the same thing, and it was like all over, and I was like, oh my god, that's so cute. I want to try that, because I like to do like really weird shit with like do-rags, and I would like glue like random things on them, and I would wear them. And I have a do-rag where it's like a bunch of wire headphones going down the back, and then it's these clips, and I would like listen to the shuffles and I was like, that's okay. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to wear a do-rag today, so I did this, but it was not as smooth as I thought it would be, because I'm like, you know what, maybe because the girl that I'm referencing was like white and she could like just slip it in, but no, bro, it's the fro is not froing, so it's like low-key 5 pins in each one. I'm not gonna lie.
I would keep it in.
Yeah,
it
but it's not
in better than her hair, because I mean, when I put in clips, they just slide right out. They just in 2 seconds.
The iPod shuffles were made for you.
I'm like,
they look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
How did you source them? Like, that's vintage.
eBay.
Of course.
Who else?
That's right. Well, thank you guys so much for being on our little taste
for having us.
talk show. Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
To start, I would love to know, if listeners had never heard your music before, what would you serve up to them? What's the first track that they should listen to of yours?
Okay, I feel like the obvious answer is Pink Like Suki, but I feel like that isn't even really the type of music that we make.
Yeah.
Kind of is. It's in the lane, obviously, but we didn't expect for that song to be popular.
Right.
And so I think I would probably go with like Cardiac or Declined.
Ooh, Declined, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing, I gave you grace, invited you to the table. 5'6" but 10'8", standing on my resume. Ain't a mother yet. Why would I go son of man? FKA done said it best. I'm a boss in my life, do I really have to boss in the sheets? Too many men think they got the cheat code, like eco, by the seat of his ego. Make it all the more satisfying, reclining at the sound of your God declining.
Let's roll with that.
Yeah, Declined.
Why does
Final
Declined,
answer.
why does that represent you guys?
I mean, I don't know, for me it's like, I feel like Declined is a mixture of Suki and what we're doing now. Like, it's like the weird like atonal shit that's like and like the hook is like kind of whispery and like fast and like rappy, but then we have like these pop chords and it's like singy, and then it's just
there's like melodic stuff still.
There's a bunch of there's a bunch of different elements of like Suki, but also like the era that we're in now. So I feel like it's a
good bridge between the two,
a gateway, if you will.
Yeah, and it's not as like dark sounding, like which we like to do both, but like we like to bring them together.
Totally. I feel like Pink Like Suki is a good like closer for the mixtape because of that dark sound. But yeah, I love the marrying of both sides of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know like why'd you write that song and what led you declined. Yeah.
Why did we? Wait.
You started it.
You started it. She started it. No. I feel like a lot of our songs tend to start with me like being alone at like 2 a.m. and being like, I got something. And like just going insane for like a few hours. And then also because I feel like the idea is so, I can't explain it. It sounds so odd if I were to like try and describe that song without it being made yet. Yeah. So I'm like, just like, let me like get the idea out and then like, you'll get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I just was like working on some weird stuff, and I think I was like on Splice, and I heard it was like an audio recording of like a grocery store, and it was just like someone like ringing up items and like the beeping of it, and you can hear that at the very beginning of the song. And then like there was like a sound from the little computer that said like declined or like some, like something like that, or I don't know if someone put that in there, but anyway, I just found that little clip, and then I was like, I have an idea. And then so I just used that as like, I also really like when songs kind of do that thing where, you say something and then sort of the sample or like a sound bite finishes your sentence.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I was trying to do with that.
That is so cool. I love the brain of like a producer songwriter, because you have the concept, but half of the concept like isn't in words language, it's in like sounds language.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's cool to hear that that's how your music starts. But is that how like most of your songs begin? Like what does the writing process look like in a duo?
I mean,
it goes every which way.
Like
there's
isn't
no
like
one method.
Yeah, there isn't really like one way, but like I mean, a lot of the time, like with Decline, for example, like she kind of did that, and then she like sent it in like the group chat, and then I was like, and I just kind of like jumped on it. So it's like, I said that to say like, we don't really write together most of the time. Like we'll probably, we might be in the same room together a lot, but like, it's mainly like if we have the same like universe, a concept in mind, and then it's like we get just kind of divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And then come together. And I mean, shoot, it'd be times where I'm like, we don't even really say anything about the concept and it works, or she'll kind of be like explain her idea to me, and then I'll have something that's like high key not at all matching with what she said, and I'm like, all right, bet. And she's like, no, and I'm like, no, yours is better, trust me. So and then we'll just kind of like go that way. So it's like, it's really not one like, I guess like process or system that we have in place. We just kind of
we just kind of like go into it with no intention. I feel like that's the biggest thing for us. Like I feel like all the times that we made like our best songs is like we had no prior like idea of what it needed to be, so then you're not really like blocking it from becoming what it wants to be.
Right.
And I feel like as long as we keep that in mind and we just kind of say, it's like the yes and method, instead of being like, no, well, that doesn't fit the original reference or the original idea that we wanted it to be, then you completely like lose the plot and you end up making a song that's like, yeah, sure, maybe fits the original idea, but it's just not that good.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you guys have enough trust where you can be like, you do your thing, I'll do mine, and we know that we'll find the overlap and like both be equally excited about like what the other person has done. And that like process is so much more real to me than being in a room and like collaborating on the spot. I feel like it's really hard to be vulnerable in front of people in that way.
It slows things down, in my opinion. I feel like that like slows shit down. Like instead of just being like, all right, or we don't even like say like you get the verse, we get the hook. It's just like if we just go off and just write, and if we feel like, hey, I think this could be like a good pre-idea or a verse idea or whatever, then like whatever, you know, we just kind of
And
It's like
everything is
Mad
hooky
Libs.
because you're not like trying to structure it like
Yeah.
that. It's like, let me write something
we'll like
good.
wait till we get the structure down to like after the fact. Like even when we're like working with a producer, he's like, so how do you want to like structure this? And I kind of be like, I don't want to like, I don't know, feel like we're trying to hold things up, and I'm like, we're just gonna like write and then kind of put it like we'll figure it out like when we're done, when you said you would do and then and then it's like okay, and then but then when it comes down to it, like when we're done, all that's left is the arrangement of everything,
Right.
like not like
And it's usually pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Usually it's like, oh, that's clearly the pre, or like, that's clearly like a weird post section, or like, just kind of happens.
It writes itself eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because we like kind of, well, I was going to say because we've worked together a lot, we like know how that works. But I would say even from the beginning, when we first started, you know, the first few times we like worked together, it was kind of the same way. And maybe it's just because we didn't know each other that well, so we were kind of just like in our own world.
Sure.
And I just feel like we off the bat kind of, I don't know, had this like weird like telepathy of like it, like I just kind of like know that you know what you need to do and what I, you know what I mean? Like, and you know what I'm gonna do, but I haven't done it yet, kind of, but I don't need to say it. Yeah. I feel like that's like one thing where like, if you were to like hang out in one of our sessions, it could be really boring because a lot of the time and like she likes to write like on paper, like with a pen and pencil paper, and I usually just like write on my iPad or like my phone.
just like we don't want to be there.
Yeah, it looks like we're so bored because she's just like scribbling random stuff, and then I'm just on my phone like this. And I'm like, I promise, I'm making a song, but it just looks like
the
I'm
song
like
is just like, the beat is just like
texting.
looping for like 40 hours.
Oh
We're just
my
there.
God.
And it's like so boring probably, but yeah.
But it's so rare to find like a collaboration partner where you're like symbiotic like that, where it's comfortable to like be doing nothing like in a room next to each other.
Totally.
So I'm sure you've answered this like a million times, but I would love to hear for the record like the start of how you guys began working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so we met at Berkeley. We were both going to Berkeley College of Music, and we ended up doing, well, first off, there was this one professor, John Debo. She says Debo. I don't know which one.
It's Debo. Trust me.
Okay. I went to Berkeley
He
as
says
well.
both.
And
my
I
God.
love that man.
Yes.
Wait, oh
He's
my
such
God.
a
That's
good
Brody.
one.
When did you graduate?
I graduated 2022. So we had like
okay.
1 year overlap.
Okay, cool.
Yo,
I think
love
John follows me on Instagram still.
that. Yes.
So-
Oh my God.
King.
Okay, so he was like,
get it.
we were both taking his classes, like, but we were in separate classes.
Cool.
And he was like always saying to me, and apparently to her too, he was like, you really got to work with this one girl. Like, you guys would just like work so well together. Like, you have to.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, freak. Like, why? What is this? Like,
And we were
what
both
do you
like,
mean? Like,
I feel like we were similar in the sense of like, we just, obviously we were both like solo artists before we like came together, but like, I feel like we're both similar in the sense of like, we didn't really work with other people because there was just like a particular like sound that we had in our own minds that other people, when we would try to reach out to other people, wouldn't really like get it or like make it the way that we want. So we're like, I'm just gonna do this myself, do this and, you know, produce this myself or whatever. And then a lot of time, like when you're at Berkeley, you know, like you meet someone and you're like, yo, like, you know, you hard, like, let me get your IG, like, you know, we could probably do something. And then it doesn't go beyond that, you know what I'm saying? It's just like follow for follow. So it's like, this is really the first time I like actually like followed through with like a collaboration, and then it actually,
well,
like,
it was like accidental. Even.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even really mean to like, cause you know, I guess I should have like believed him when he said that, but you know, Apparently he's like the best A&R ever or something. But you know, I ended up having a meeting with him, and she had a meeting with him right after in the same coffee shop. And I was like just leaving, and she was walking in, and I was like, okay, bye. And he was like, wait, this is the person I was telling you about. Aww. Like, you guys have to work together. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. So
he was like, why don't you guys know anyone? Why don't you talk to anybody?
Yeah. And
my bad.
He's like, you should already know each other. And then so we like exchanged Instagrams or numbers or something. And then like while there was also
Rodney.
We talked about, I was talking with him about the Rock
Nation.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know, Rock Nation, we're having a songwriting camp.
Like a songwriting
over spring break.
Yeah. And so I was planning on like signing up for that, and you had to like apply to it. And so Rodney was like, oh, do you know about this? And like, you should also apply. And so we ended up both doing that. And then we showed up to the first day of that, and we were both there, and we were like, oh, cool. And then
it's you with the face.
Yeah. And we ended up not working together until the like last day of the camp. And then we just really liked what we made. Like, I don't know, it just was like a good collaboration. And then we were like, okay, let's like make some more stuff, I guess, maybe to like pitch to people or something. And then, because I think that's always like the mindset, you know, is like, okay, because we were both songwriting majors. It's like, well, if I can like write songs for people first, then like maybe I can be an artist. And that was kind of like the path. And so we were like, let's just make stuff for people and like hopefully, I don't know, send it and someone can hear it maybe. So we just started doing that. And then that's when like I showed it to Boston and Pat, who was actually teaching a class because he's from Boston at Berkeley.
Well, yes.
And
PEMDAS.
it'd be weird if he wasn't from Boston.
I agree.
I'm changing my name to Florida. No, but yeah, so I was taking his Ableton class. He like taught me how to produce in Ableton.
Sick.
And I was like stalking him for like a year straight, just being like, help me. I was like, help. And so, and I told him like the first day of class, I was like, which is probably like such a weird thing to say. I was like, you're my ticket out of here. I was like, I'm about to get really annoying because this is my one opportunity that like I've found here.
Right.
That like has some promise in like, cause you know, he's like, although he was teaching there like part-time, like he's like in the industry, like doing like getting all these placements, and like I'm looking at his Instagram like, oh, okay. And so I was definitely plotting and scheming behind the scenes and stalking him. And then I showed him what we made, and he was like, why? I was like, can you pitch this to people? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, it's not very good. And he was like, no, I can't, because like it doesn't sound like anyone. Like, it's your sound.
Right.
Like, you need to make a duo, and this is your song. And I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, I don't know if like she's down for that, but I can try. And he was like, no, you need to convince her. Like, you have to convince her.
No choice.
And then so, we just ended up like being like, whatever.
What the hey?
Like, whatever, let's do it, I guess. And then, we just ended up like a week later, we like made a TikTok, and then we were just making like a ton of songs like every night in my like apartment, and then just started posting them on TikTok. Yeah.
That's so sick. It's like, it's such a backwards Berkeley story, because I feel like we are literally taught how to sound like other people and how to follow the rules that other songwriters laid the groundwork for, but like you just didn't do what anyone else was doing. And that's why it stuck out to people.
And like we were not even trying to sound different. Like, it was just like we were trying to be interesting enough that someone would take the song.
Right.
You know?
But you had enough like of your own personality infused into it
Yeah.
that like, yeah, you shouldn't have pitched it because it was you. So that's so cool. I'm so glad that people like advocated for you and told you to just do it.
I know, yeah, because to be honest, I don't think we would have came to that conclusion on our own. I don't think we would have had the like guts in it, like, because it takes a lot of like belief in it, in yourself, to be like, no, like I could do this better than anyone else could.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, let's talk about the mixtape. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sleepover. I would love to know for our like main course, what's a song that represents this era of you guys?
Well, I think that the like obvious one is like NETR, which is Not Enough to Remember.
Of course.
Which is kind of like this, I don't know, like Red One inspired, like Nicki Minaj or 2000s-esque, like hyper pop, weird, magical My Little Pony song. Like,
love that.
That's all one word. That was all one word, by the way.
Yeah, no spaces.
When I was doing charity at the dog pound, now you calling me a bitch, still ain't give me shit to bark about. Only buy shotgun at the club going once. Pull up with a roast stem, go get it, but man's offering me the sun, now you think that you're the one. It's not enough to remember.
I think that one kind of sums up the whole project, you know?
Yeah.
Encapsulates it. But there's definitely other songs on it that we like really enjoy. Like
Yeah.
we both love like From the Back. It's like a really freaky,
absolutely.
weird production one.
I know that's Giselle's favorite, so shout out
Really?
Giselle.
All that. All that.
So much. And I explained to my boyfriend today what it's about, and he was like, "That's insane."
I know, I love that
I love
one
it because it sounds like sexual, but it's like, no, like,
It's
I have
really
toilet
not.
paper on my shoe, bro. Don't look at me, bro. Like, I have a bald spot in the back. Please don't.
Please, God.
But
don't
the
look
beat
at
is
me.
beating. Like, just, you know, just look at the front.
The beat is always beating.
It's
I
always
love
beating.
the My Little Pony reference because that does like track with the. It's not like a childish vibe at all, but it is like the girlhood that.
Yeah, it's like hyper feminine and
Yeah.
also like not, I guess it's like not being ashamed of like still loving My Little Pony.
As you should.
Like you can have figurines in your room no matter how old you are.
Absolutely.
Like that kind of vibe. Like,
When you were making the mixtape, were these all just like songs from your demo discography that you picked from?
most
Yeah,
of them.
most of
Okay.
them.
Cool.
Yeah, we were just like, having them all in like a folder and untitled thing. And our A&R, shout out Kat, which is amazing. She was like, I don't know, this like feels like I'm in like a slumber party or like a girl's like sleepover or something. And then Sleepover, this really like triggered something in us. We were like, ooh.
Yeah.
Just had like a immediately went to like a visual deck and like just all type of stuff, and was like the only like songs that we made after we had come to that like concept were like Sleepover and Pillow Fight. I mean, not Sleepover, Sneak Out.
I was like, I haven't heard that one.
Sneak Out and Pillow Fight. And we're just like, those were just like great ones to just kind of draw everything together, bring everything together.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's interesting to hear because honestly, so many of them fit into the concept.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out Kat for that.
Right?
Period.
I think
Yeah.
we just like made so many songs that then we could kind of like find a through line.
Totally.
And there were kind of other through lines that we could have made.
yeah.
Like if we listened to all of the songs, then like we could have gone with some other route, but it just made sense for this one to be the first route.
yeah.
You know, like it's like the like youth of Pebbles and Tam Tam. Like it's the beginning.
Yes, it's like
You
a
know?
very foundational thing. Like
Yeah.
to be a fan, you have to be able to like embrace this like wonder
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like the like juvenile nature of it in a way.
Yeah.
Like on a lot of the songs, I felt like made sense to happen first, and then it's kind of like as we drop more stuff, like our Pebbles and Tam Tam project is like growing up, and like
Yeah.
that's kind of the beginning of it. I don't know.
I mean, it's you, so you would
Yeah.
assume as you grow up, like the sound's gonna change.
Yeah.
But who were your like sonic North Stars during this time? Like I know you said Nicki Minaj, but like were there other things that you were looking towards as inspiration?
I mean, I think we definitely each have like our own, you know, personal influences, but then also like shared ones for like production and stuff. And like, I don't know, I would say it depends on each song. Like there's like some really random ones, like From the Back, like we completely reference the Boy West Coast with "You was at the club, thumbs up when I first met you." Like,
Of course.
we were listening to that song all the time, and we were like, it would just be so funny if there was like this really intense like section, you know, with just like the crazy like weird bass and like the whip sound, and then it just like goes to dun 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 dun.
Right.
And like, I don't know, one like reference for me, like Princess Superstar was just like something that, I don't know, I was just listening to her a lot and just taking note of kind of how like weird she's allowed herself to be sometimes,
Totally,
you know?
yeah.
And then, yeah, also Adore, really love Adore. Production wise too, I think that comes out a lot on like Sneak Out.
Love.
Yeah, and then also like earlier 2000s stuff for sure, in terms of like the dance records like Case Closed and Pillow Fight and stuff. What about you?
Sick.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pretty much everything you said too, but also like we were like for Pillow Fight, like we loved the chords that kind of reminded us of like I just came to say hello, like that vibe.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or like I loved a lot of like, I don't know if you heard of Tommy February 6th, but like a lot of her old stuff. She's like a Japanese artist in the 2000s, and like a lot of her old like bubblegum pop stuff, but still like like the songs were still kind of like mature and like, but like over just like a cute like poppy beat, like shit like that. I thought was like really cool. Yeah, and like there's a lot of like the like old like Iconopop Calvin Harris shit from like 2016. We were like referencing the like fuck ass 2016 summer playlists.
Yeah.
Flow
Middle school
Rider,
dance.
Cry.
Yes. Yes.
That's my favorite song.
All the Red One shit. Yeah.
So good. Okay. Well, for our third course, I always love to hear about like your favorite off of a release, like the cherry on top is what we call it. So what song were you like really excited to put out on the mixtape?
PBX-TamTam.
So good.
That's
I
like-
love having a theme song.
Yo, that's literally my favorite like ever.
Who the bad girl with the bad best friend? PBX-TamTam. When the girls walk in, hoes split like ends. PBX-TamTam. Hot pay tickets on the front of the Benz. PBX-TamTam. But you're still a bad girl with your bad best friend. PBX-TamTam.
I'm toting that home drum. You say it's like that lump sum. Make that bank account.
I had wrote it while I was at home before we like officially moved in together, and I was just like, this is probably the most fuck ass thing I will ever write in my life, but I can't stop singing it, so I just kept it to myself until we came together and our managers had sent us some like starter track ideas, and there was that one in the batch like dun dun, and I just like sang it over it. I was like, look, shoot me in the face, but like, hear me out, bro. Like, I don't know. And it just fit over the chord so well. And I was like, yeah, nah, this is my shit right here. I'm not gonna lie. It was originally called Bank Account, but then she was like, I don't know, you're like saying like PBX-TamTam a lot, and it's like kind of like hooky. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's change it to that. Like, and the idea of it being called like PBX-TamTam definitely like is like more interesting and like cool. So, and it's like very fitting for it to be on our like first project. I felt like it's perfect. So
Yeah, and also being the first song. Like we
Yeah.
really wanted it to be the first song to be like the theme song
Yeah.
of like, I don't know, the sitcoms like starting, and like that's what plays.
and again, that was like before we had like the Sleepover like idea, or like before all of that. It's just called PBX-TamTam, and it was just like our song, and it was just there. So there for the taking. So
Right. It's so coming of age to have a song named after you. So I love it. Is that both of y'all's answer?
I think mine might be different,
Okay.
but I do love that song.
Right.
But I think that, see, I always say Sneak Out, but I also really like Horse Girls. But
Let's
I
talk
just
about it.
really like the, like, I don't know. I like how Sneak Out feels like melancholy and it feels like really happy, but there's also something about it that like feels sad.
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're like, you know, your head's out the window and you're like your hair's blowing in the wind in slow-mo and there's like a single tear down your face. But you're like, yay. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the wind getting in your eyes. You need to close the window up.
I know what you're saying, and there is an element to like having this very youthful sound when you're like getting older where it's like, damn, I'm just never gonna have like a sleepover and be like 11 again.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is like
Yeah.
the nostalgia of like remembering and just
It's like the summer before everyone goes to college.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That's what it like feels like to me.
yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Wow. Okay, well I have 3 final questions for you guys.
Okay.
I would love to know if sleepover were a candle, what would it smell like?
Okay, in my opinion, it would probably smell pretty like cheap. It'd probably be like a cheap candle,
Okay.
first off. And it'd probably be like very sweet and warm smelling. Like something like vanilla sugar cookie, but also like kind of floral.
Yeah. Like in the TJ Maxx like checkout aisle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. For
Cool.
sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love.
And it like kind of gives you a headache if you have it on for too long.
Yeah, you shouldn't burn
you're
it.
like, oh, the neurotoxins. But you're like,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I totally agree with that. That's like absolutely hilarious. I fuck with that. But also it's like, I don't know, I feel like it would be like a flavor that's like the very like fuck ass standard like Bath and Body Works flavors, like the cherry blossoms and the
Yeah.
cupcakes and the like not like Sunday linens, like something like probably like you know that girl in your school that would like just have the most like tutti fruity, damn near grandma like infiltrate your brain type of like level perfume. I feel like
Yeah.
it was something like that you could smell from Timbuktu, kind of.
Yes.
You just down the hall, you know Stacy's coming. Like that's what it would give me for sure.
She sprayed that on after gym class.
It's like, did you put it in the vents? Like, bitch. Yeah, that's all. After gym class, no shower.
No.
Just
Oh no.
Just that body spray.
just tutti frutti.
Oh. The horror.
I'd also love to know what your favorite sound is right now, but like a life sound, not a music sound.
Oh, okay.
Electric vehicles.
Really?
It's like, I don't know, like they're just so meditative. We were just talking about it too. I was like, why do I feel like
You know the sound it makes when they're like gearing up or like they're going
Yeah.
by.
When I first moved to LA, I heard them at night, and my roommate and I were like, "Have you been hearing that sound?"
nah, bro? That's the sound
Teslas.
of God coming back. That's what it feels like. It's like I'm manifesting my career goals, watching, like listening to the Hyundai EV drive by.
Oh my god!
I'm just like,
It's hilarious.
Right?
yes, I am strong. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am wealthy. Yes, all that.
All that.
I'm rich. All that.
You just like pause and take a moment. I think that mine, I really like to hear, like, okay, so we live next to this family that has like chickens and goats and sheep,
Nice.
and I like to hear them make noises.
It's like all that.
Because my bedroom's right next to like their, like where they all are.
Okay.
Not like right next to it, but like, you know, it's like the closest point of our house to theirs.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, they just like make a lot of random noises. And I like when like the goats are just screaming and I can like scream to them through my window.
That's good. I
Yeah.
like that. Nature.
Yeah, one of the goats was in our driveway once. It was great. I was like, oh my God, Gucci Mane's outside. It was crazy. It's just crazy.
That's his government name.
Right. Right. I'm like, I thought we was in the suburbs, but it really just like, in the suburbs, just on a corner, and it's just like there's a like hen that sits on like eggs right by our trash can. There's like a opening in the fence, and she can kind of just sit through and just like sit on top. And I'm like, oh she's a mother.
No, she's not.
Oh,
There's
that's
nothing
kinda
in there.
insane. No, there do be eggs though there though. I don't know
Yeah,
if they're
there's
her, but like
There's eggs, but they're not fertilized.
Eggs to eat.
They're empty.
damn, just gel. That's crazy.
Well,
My final question for you guys is, who are your ones to watch? Like, who are you listening to that we should be listening to?
okay. Can I look at my
Yes,
phone?
of course.
Because I can't remember anything ever.
Honestly, some people on this wall, okay. Like I fuck
Oh,
with.
no, wait.
I love Emery.
Oh,
Tiny Habits. Oh my god, you know they went to Berkeley too.
yes.
Bro, I used to live down the hall from Sinya, and her and her friends would be in their room practicing as like hearing angels, bro. I'd be like, oh my god,
Oh my God,
like,
you walk in that stairwell.
literally, like I could literally just hear them like from upstairs, and I'll be like, damn, like, bro, it's
Wow,
crazy.
that's legendary.
Literally, like, honored.
Okay, this is my favorite song right now. In My Room, Hardcore Mix by KFR.
Nice.
Best song
Okay.
ever.
Wait, is it a version of Julia Wolf's song, or is it a completely different song?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I just listen to it all the time.
I love that.
Wait, you tell me. You tell me.
I'll find out.
Wait.
I think it's different.
It's such a banger.
Oh, this is sick.
Yeah, I love that
Wow.
one. I listen to that every day, probably 6 or 7 times.
Okay.
Also, this, don't know how to say, mixtape
Nice.
and 1 tablespoon. This song.
And 1 tablespoon.
The 1 table. Me trying to tell people about the music. I like 1 tablespoon of mixtape. It's like a recipe.
Yes.
But this,
Wow, it really is 1 tablespoon.
right?
Oh, this is good. This makes sense.
Yeah, and also the cover art, like Misa Conte's cover art is always like so cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
I'm obsessed. Also, this song by Swords is called Boyfriend La La La.
Yes, of course. All of the cover art is great on this.
Loving Swords.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you have stuff?
Yeah, so I've been getting like mad into like DJ Blackstar lately. Shout out him. He's from Baltimore. He's also from Maryland. All that. There's just like this one. It's probably like a classic, honestly. But like, bro, she sounds like Sky Jackson. Every time I close my eyes, I'm like, bitch, that's Zuri. Like, what the fuck?
Not Hey Jesse.
All that. Anyway, I'm like, bro, and this is like, he's the one that like came up with like the what? That's his like sound. It was that girl from that song.
Sky Jackson.
Why are you playing a game right
Bro,
now?
it was an ad. It was an ad. I'm so sorry. You know I use that
come from?
you know I use music, bro. It just comes
I
up.
look
Okay.
at her, she's stacking
I use
blocks
block
on the game.
blast. No, I
Get there so fast.
bro, I
Like,
use music. I don't even listen. I don't use Spotify like that. But it'll just like pop
bro,
up, and I'm like,
$10 for Spotify.
bro, you gotta use that .edu because that's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Save like $5. But anyway.
Okay, so you want $5?
Anyway, and then this is
Lord
other
help
guy.
us.
I love him. His name is Maz. He also went to Berkeley.
Oh, cool.
He does like a lot of like alt hip hop. He'll like he takes like inspiration from like Paris, Texas and stuff a lot, like rock and hip hop, but he also does a lot of like Brazilian funk. And like there's this song that he wrote with this guy Kid Revel.
So sick.
All that shit. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
These are good. You guys are the first people to have ever played the songs out loud.
Wait,
Let me just
really?
say, yeah.
Oh, love that.
No one's thought of that yet.
I just like have to.
I really
it's just 'cause I want to
appreciate
hear
it.
it right now.
Yeah, that.
Wait, this one, Swallow by
Oh,
Joey
yes.
Cash.
Oh, that's cool.
Basically, you just have to sidechain stuff and I'll like it.
Apparently.
Sorry.
Those are all good.
I'm easy.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for
This is
having us.
awesome.
This is so much fun.
Yay. Well, once again, this is Once to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and this is Pebbles and Tam Tam. Yay. Listen to their mixtape.
Yay.
Yeah.